The reason Trendsetters Media is where it is today is one simple reason: money. Revenue minus expenses, profit. That is ultimately, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters in business, and that's the reason why we're able to grow, hire more individuals, grow again, hire more people, grow again. That's why we can do that process, is because of the money and how the actual economics work. And how we've made them work is from the very beginning of Trendsetters Media, when I just dropped out, to even now. We have not prioritized our personal financial wealth over the long-term wealth and success of the company, because we know that that is significantly more important than any amount of money that we can make today. Let's provide an example. Let's say instead of hiring out individuals, I just wanted to retain all of the capital and revenue that Trendsetters is bringing in to pay myself. Okay, awesome. Let's see how that plays out. Now I'm paying myself, $25,000 to $50,000 per month, if we could even handle what that is, right? And that's going straight into my personal bank account, and we're doing this with it. And what am I going to spend that on? Some fucking cars, going and traveling. Like, I'm going to spend those on poor choices, poor decisions, because having that amount of money when you're young is not always good for you. They say money is freedom. Money is not freedom. Money creates choice. You determine what that actually means. And so maybe it is some of that version of free will, but sometimes for younger individuals, having that free will, having that free choice, and having a lot of money when you're young can create significantly more problems than it can solve. So you're young, and I'm telling you not to focus on making money. What should you focus on instead? So easy of an answer. It is your knowledge. It is what you learn. It is what you're putting on your actual resume, not the one that you show employers and what you think of when you hear resume, but what are the experiences that you're doing? What are you actually learning? What are your capabilities, skill sets, services? What are those things that you can do? Because you building and stacking up that is going to make you significantly more wealth over the long term than just about any amount of money that you can make in your 20s. Okay, so that's why I advised invest every last dollar you can into your own education, into building up your resume and doing those things. And even so, prioritize that now, because look, let's say you could triple your salary today or take a job at your current salary that you would learn significantly more in. You might be tempted to take that one that's going to triple your salary, but let me let you in on a little secret. That is the perfect way to not ultimately accrue wealth over the long term. Taking shortcuts, taking short-term wealth is the best way to not actually get long-term wealth. Now, ultimately, why is this so important and why do we care? It's because time is finite, money is not. The Federal Reserve, they just printed off like $2 trillion the other day. I'm sure they're gonna print off more. Like, money is just a currency. They just print that shit out, right? There's not a finite amount of it. It's not like Bitcoin. Now, I'm not gonna go into the economics of that, but here's what I will say. You will never get your time back. You can always get your money back. So anything that's gonna save you time, whether that's spending an extra $5 to order it through DoorDash, or calling an Uber instead of like walking or running home or something of that nature. Like, anything that is ultimately going to save you time, hiring someone to be your maid or wash your dishes or whatever, that should be prioritized over you saving that money. Because let's say you do save that money. Let's say you save an extra $100 to $500 per month because you're not going to spend it on things that can save you time. What are you going to do with that money anyway? Get fucking guacamole in your burrito? Like, what are we talking about here? This is like very small amounts of money, but ultimately at the end of the day, if you can save time, that's significantly more impactful. And that's how personally I approach this. Look, the reality is at Trendsetters Media right now, as well as ahead in the future, there are a lot of roles that we have that I myself or some of our other individuals on our team might be able to take onto their plate. And so I might be tempted to say, okay, well, let's not hire someone for that. Let's just figure out a way to do it ourselves. But the problem with that model is my time is limited. I only have 24 hours personally in a day. However, if I make a hire, if I hire Luke, if I hire Carter, if I hire Amanda, Evan, Ren, so on down the line, now my 24 hours becomes plus 8, plus 8, plus 8, plus 8, plus 8, plus 10, plus 12, so on, where now every single day I have 100 hours working towards something that is ultimately building me long-term wealth, of which there's nowhere else on the planet I can duplicate my time like that. So that's how personally I approach it. So anything you can do to save time or gain time by hiring for it is a wise investment. Now, finally, there's this notion that when you're young, I mean, it doesn't matter, when you're young, but that you should be focused on cutting your expenses, that you should be focused on saving right now. And I'm not gonna say you shouldn't be cutting your expenses and you shouldn't be saving, but I want you to look at it a little bit differently. If you solely focus on how you can make the most of your existing salary or current income and how you can pull a net every single month off of that to save up for savings, what you're missing is the bigger picture. So I like to take on an abundance mindset. What that is yes, let's loosely set a budget. Let's loosely figure out what I should be saving per month and putting back in the bank. But let's focus doubling, tripling my monthly income over the long haul, investing in assets with my time, not just a fucking job that I could get cut from any day, but actual assets that you might own, or working with individuals that are then gonna lead you to this and boom, like, that is a much greater investment in an abundance mindset in which you can actually accumulate wealth, because at the end of the day, the best way to save more money every single month is just to make more fucking money in the first place and have your expenses stay the same. So that's my advice on finance. I am in no ways a financial advisor nor an expert. I'm just sharing my own personal opinion. And I want to bring up a final point here. At the end of the day, I mentioned how your time is finite. You're gonna die. That's just the reality of things. And so you can obsess over dollars and short-term things in economics of that nature. But if you love what you're doing, if you are putting money in the bank every single month or can cover your life expenses and taxes and so on, who the fuck cares? Who cares that someone has an extra $200 to pay for fucking bottle service at some shitty nightclub at a city in the fucking Midwest? Like, who ultimately cares about that? Who cares that they can buy like a nicer car that they actually just lease and it only costs them $200 more per month, and they're actually getting that from a fucking sugar daddy? Like, we need to reassess what we actually value, and when we're young, we need to prioritize time, building wealth, and most importantly, building up our income. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have been ridiculously frugal for the past 2.5 years, and I will always be. I'm that person that, like, someone goes to throw like some food away and I'm like, no, hold up, let me check it. Let me finish that for you. But we are gonna make some interesting purchases over the next few months at a personal level for myself as well as the company. And the reason we're able to do that is because of what we've done in the past. So when that happens, don't think that I'm changing. Those are also investments, and you'll see why later.